All right, we're out here today checking out the new Taurus 856 Defender, 6-shot, 3-inch barrel, front night sight. Now I've added the rubber grips from the classic Model 85s that I've had in stock for a while to add the rubber backstrap to help in recoil and give me a little better purchase. So we're going to try it out today with some different loads. I've got some hand loads, and I've got 3 different defensive loads. Wait, I take that back. I've got 4 different defensive loads we're going to try. 2 125 loads and 2 158 loads. I want to see how it handles the higher pressures. Okay, the first load I'm going to try are some hand loads, 158 grain, round nose bullets. Should be running out between 670 and 700 feet per second. We're going to just try those to make sure everything's working. $677. $656. $668. Well, everything seems to be working. I'm a little high and to the left at 20 yards, so let's go to the next load. Okay, I've loaded up with 125 grain Starfire plus P's. Let's see how these do. $812. $783. $764. So still a little variance. Those were a little better shot, a little low and left, but the grouping was a little better than my reloads. Adequate for defense, not spectacular. Let's try the next load. Okay, I got the 4th load. This is one of my favorites. It's 125 grain plus P 38 special Golden Saber hollow point. $917. $912. $900. Wow, and like always, right in the center, very consistent. I love the Golden Saber 125 plus P. Right now, that's the load this thing is favoring, so I'm very happy with that. Okay, so what we got, these are my reloads up here. This was the Starfires down low and left, and then here in the middle was the Golden Sabers. So the Golden Sabers seem to be a little better, and so I'm going to repaint the target. Okay, the last load was the 125 grain Golden Saber plus P, which I love. Now we're going to move up to a more traditional load, a little heavier, 158 grain lead semi-wide cutter hollow point plus P. This is the federal load, used to be called the FBI load for a long time. Trying to see how the extra weight in a plus P configuration translates into recoil in the smaller gun, and how well the rubber backstrap is going to work in absorbing that recoil. I sure like the grip, it feels really good. $826. $818. $803. So recoil is pretty mild even with the plus P 158. Very good group, but it's high and to the left, but the grouping's excellent, so the gun's capable. Okay, so now we're going to get serious. This is the 158 grain lead semi-wad cutter hollow point plus P by Buffalo Bore. It's their 20 alpha load. This is the hottest 38 special load going for self-defense, and I want to see how the 856 Defender handles this. It's got a good amount of recoil in the other revolvers I shoot it in, but I really wanted to try it in the Defender and see how the Defender handles the top of the line for 38 special defensive loads. So let's find out. a high spot. Oh, I see it. Pretty unusual for buffalo bore, but I have a primer that's cross-loaded, so I'll have to let buffalo bore know. I got one that's cross-loaded, so we're only going to do 2 of those shots. Now, granted, this is a multi. This is probably an 8-year-old box of 20 alpha, so I'm sure their quality control has improved since then. So we'll try 2 shots with the 20 alpha, which may be enough. $1,058. $1,254. Now that seems a little high. I'm going to call that a crawny error. The 1,058 is probably better on. Now there's a lot of distribution in the shot down there, down range. So let's go take a look. Okay, so the first 3 shots here, very nice grouping. That was the 158 plus P FBI load, standard FBI load for the 38. Excellent grouping, a little off to the left, but man, really nice group. This was the buffalo bore. The first one was dead on, so I may have to do another test with the buffalo bore. The second one registered pretty high on my chronograph, and I'm showing a higher impact, which makes sense. So I don't know, I'll probably go back and get a couple more buffalo bore. Let's try that again. So after that last test with the buffalo bore 20 alpha, where I didn't have 3 rounds because one of them was bad, and one of the rounds registered 1254, which I don't think is correct. It might be because the impact was high, but we're not sure. We're going to try a full cylinder 20 alpha just to see how it does. I just want to be sure. The recoil's not bad. It's not terribly punishing. It does flip a little more. Follow-up shots will be a little more challenging to get that double tap in, but it's still manageable. And all my testing is done at 20 yards for these loads, just so you know. So let's try the 20 alpha again, see where we end up. $1,048. $1,065. It's a little snappy. 1,086. $1,056. $1,312. Now one more. 1312 seems a little odd, but it did go higher. That's the same problem I had with that last one. It was 1200 plus, is it impacted higher. So maybe 1,055. Okay, that's a good sampling. So now we've shot the 20 alpha, which is what I really wanted to do. And what I would say is that I would not carry the 20 alpha in this. It works and it's powerful, but it's a little bit excessive on recoil for a combat scenario. I can feel it in my hand. I can feel a little pinch. Now, with that in mind, the 125 Golden Saber hollow point was right to point of aim, mild recoil because you're shooting a 125 grain bullet. It was moving out at what we have, 900 feet per second. All that makes for the Golden Saber being the top pick for my particular 856 Defender, and that's what I'll be loading and carrying. Thanks. So this was the 20 alpha load from Buffalo Bore, and you can see up in here that I was pretty consistent. I just got white paint on me. Pretty consistent high and to the left. This was the faster one, the 1,300 foot per second deviation that I couldn't explain, and it hit high. Now previously I had the same problem with the 1,200 foot per second deviation load from Buffalo Bore, and it went high also. So that may be an effect from the higher velocities. But all of them are pretty tightly grouped, a little high and to the left. Grouping's really good at 20 yards, no problem. But because these sights aren't adjustable, that little slight movement to the left makes this not ideal at 20 yards. Closer in, great, a lot of power in the 20 alpha, but I still think the better load for me is going to be that 125 grain Golden Saber plus P hollow point, right to point of aim, mild recoil, and that's my recommendation for this particular gun for me. Yours may shoot a little differently, but overall comfortable, trigger's nice, no issues. I'm going to try a little double action. All right, we're going to try a little bit of double action. These are just the reloads that I practice with, just to see how it feels. Now, this is the factory spring kit in here, so it's a little heavier. I have purchased the Galloway springs. I'm going to install those and try those. We'll see how it goes. But I like this grip. The grip makes a big difference. I know it's pink. We'll probably recolor it, but it fills the hand and gives you that backstrap protection, which is going to help in employing the firearm. Try that one more time. All right, we're going to try double action one more time. First time through, we were hitting, but not as nicely as I would like it. So I'm going to try again. Remember, new revolver, heavy spring, double action. We'll see how it does. That's more like it.